everyone? Hope we're all doing well. Yes, Lerone Murphy is a smaller version of Leon Edwards. Now, obviously this weekend, Lerone Murphy took on Josh Emmett, and he was able to prove a lot of doubters wrong and was able to get the decision victory against Josh Emmett. The way you looked at this one is either Josh Emmett gets an early knockout or Lerone Murphy cruises to a decision, and he did have some trouble here and there, but for the most part he was in cruise control. And after this performance, a lot of people were saying yes, this is a smaller version of Leon Edwards, and to be honest, I have to completely agree. I mean, in all fairness, I have been saying this myself for a while now. I just feel like the difference is Lerone Murphy has a bit more dog in him. I suppose that's going to be the case. You're going to have a natural dog in you when you've been shot in the head, what, like 3 times and survived. You've just got that dog instinct. A normal person probably would have died from 3 bullets to the head. Lerone Murphy, he's got that ultra dog in him, so that's not going to happen. And obviously Leon, well, yeah, he struggles to let that dog out of him. He won't let the dog start barking whatsoever. And obviously because of the Leon comparisons, it starts the debate, is Lerone Murphy boring as well? Now, in fact, I enjoy him. I mean, not really hard to understand that considering I am a fan of Leon Edwards, but I also enjoy watching Lerone Murphy, but that doesn't mean I aren't understanding of other people's point of views. I understand that he can be boring and how other people consider him boring. And let's be honest, they get this comparison because one, they're both English, and not only that, they have a very, very similar style. And what I mean by that is that they both love to be a perfect fighter. Everything that they throw has to be perfect. They won't throw anything unless it is the perfect technique, what they think is the perfect timing as well. And me personally, I do find that a joy to watch, but I understand why it can be frustrating because there's a lot of time where they're just very hesitant and won't really throw much output at all. But if you look at the stats, Lerone Murphy did actually throw a lot more than Josh Emmett. And I did see this narrative that Lerone Murphy was running throughout the fight, and I actually hated that because, again, he outstruck and threw a lot more than Josh Emmett, so he was the more busy fighter, he was a lot more active, he threw a lot more. I don't understand this narrative that he's just running away. I understand that narrative for Yusuf Zalal in that 3rd round against Calvin Kattar. I thought Zalal was doing a great job in the first 2 rounds in that Calvin Kattar fight. And then you watch that 3rd round, you're like, yeah, he literally is just doing a fucking Forrest Gump. That wasn't the case with Lerone Murphy. He was moving on the back foot a lot, causing Josh Emmett, Josh Emmett was just constantly following him, wasn't cutting off the cage. Lerone Murphy did a great job with his footwork and able to stop himself from being in any sort of danger, like we've seen people be full victim to against Josh Emmett, and that's certainly something you don't want to do. I thought Lerone Murphy did a great job, but he also stayed very busy. He was chopping at the legs a lot, going to the body a fair bit. Every time that Josh Emmett would come into the pocket, he would throw a counter elbow, and it was lovely to watch. And to be fair, he blocked a lot of Josh Emmett's offense as well, but some people, they just always want to see, a fucking barn burner. And I definitely think it didn't help Lerone Murphy's case that the entire event was a bit of a stinker. That co-main with Pat Sabatini, he did the job, he dominated, he did what he meant to do. It was a great performance, but it was also a very boring one. And again, the entire event itself was quite lackluster. It was a very stinky card, and it was in the Apex, which doesn't help things. The only good thing what really stood out to me was Reese McKee's performance, and I think also Ode Osborne's knockout in the 2nd round as well. Other than that, it was very, very fucking dry. So obviously, going into that main event, everyone's like, oh, well, this has been wank. And you just kind of feel depleted, especially in the UK when it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. Like, I can't wait for this to be over. I just want to go to bed. In America, it might be a bit different, but I know it's getting a bit late on. And in the main event, it was just nothing crazy. Yes, it was a great display, but it wasn't super entertaining to watch. And I can enjoy that the same way I enjoy watching Leon fight from time to time, one of my favorite fighters. I love seeing him pick fighters apart on the feet. I think Lerone Murphy does a great job of that. Same goes for Leon. But again, I understand the frustrations from fans. And I've seen some people say, oh, well, who does Lerone Murphy fight next? I saw some suggestions of Aljamain Sterling. Makes sense. Lerone Murphy's just passed him in the rankings, so I wouldn't hate that fight. But let's be honest, if you got people complaining that he's very boring and not fun to watch or not entertaining, would you really want to put him in there against someone like Aljo, where more than likely it's going to be like, again, not very fucking fun to watch? That's a bit dangerous. I think it makes a lot of sense but as a business and you want entertaining fights, and there's been a lot of people complaining about the product and entertainment value, I don't know if that's a smart idea. Instead, why don't you go for someone who's just above him, Arnold Allen, an all-out UK fight, make it a main event in the UK. I think that's quite fair, but I don't know if we're going to do another event in the UK. We'll have to see, but that would make a lot of sense. Headline a fight night card in the UK, that would be brilliant. In Manchester or something like that. If not, save it for, I feel like this would need to be 5 rounds. I was about to say save it for a main card of the pay-per-view, but then it'll be 3 rounds. I don't think this would do it justice for how big of a fight it would actually be, because whoever wins this one would probably be one more win away from a title shot realistically. But what are your thoughts about Lerone Murphy? Are you a fan of his? Are you not? Do you see the comparisons of him and Leon Edwards, and do you think they make sense? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.